Hello students, welcome back to another video lecture on the microprocessor and microcontroller. I think this is the fourth video lecture I am giving on the microprocessor and microcontroller. In the last class, we have studied some of the pin functionality of 8086 microprocessor, and today we are going to complete the common function signals, common function pins, which will be providing the common function in the minimum mode of operation and as well as maximum mode of operation. In the last classes, we have discussed the microprocessor is a 40 pin integrated circuit. Out of the 40 pins, 32 pins serves the common functionality in the minimum mode of operation and maximum mode of operation. Minimum mode of operation is nothing but when no other coprocessor is required. If only 8086 microprocessor can perform the function, then that operation is named as minimum mode of operation. That means what? No other coprocessors like 8087 are required, so that mode of operation is named as minimum mode. Coming to the maximum mode of operation, when the 8086 microprocessor is associated with another processor, then that another processor is named as coprocessor like 8087. When the processor is operating with another processor, then that mode of operation is named as a maximum mode of operation. Out of these 40 pins, around 32 pins serves the same function in case of minimum mode and maximum mode. So based on the functionality of these 40 pins, 40 pins will be divided into three categories. Based on the functionality of these 40 pins, these 40 pins will be divided into three categories. First category is named as common function signals. In case of minimum mode of operation and the maximum mode of operation, these signals, these pins will serve the common function. That pins are total number of pins that are 32. From the 40 pins, 32 pins serves the common functions, and remaining 8 pins serves the specific function in case of minimum mode of operation and some other specific function in case of maximum mode of operation. If you see the pin diagram of 8086 microprocessor, from the pin 24 to 31, the same pins will provide the different signals in maximum mode of operation, and the same pins will give the some other specific functions or signals in the minimum mode of operation. The minimum mode of operation and the maximum mode of operation will be decided by that particular pin. That pin number is 32, it is a input signal. That 33 pin is a input signal name here minimum or maximum bar. Minimum is a active high signal and MX bar is a active low signal. Whenever this input signal takes the active low, that is a 0 signal, then this processor will work in the maximum mode of operation, so that these 24 to 31 pins serves these functions. Whenever this 33 pin will take the active high signal, that is logic 1, then the same processor will work in the minimum mode of. So the same processor can work in the minimum mode and the maximum mode based on the 33, and 33 pin is a input signal pin. So that out of the 40 pins of 8086 microprocessor, from the 24 to 31 pins serves the very specific functions, very different functions in the common mode and in the a maximum mode and the minimum mode of operation. So that 8 pins serves the specific functions and remaining 32 pins serves the common function, and these 32 signals are combinedly named as common function signals, which are 32, and remaining 8 signals or 8 pins will give the specific functionality in the minimum mode of operation and the maximum mode of operation, and that signals are named as specific function signals. The last class, some of the pins we have discussed, that is common function signals, and common function signals again classified into 5 types we have discussed in the last class. Common function signals are discussed in the last class, that are classified into. Then this common function signals classified into 5 categories. First one is address or data bus. That means these are the bidirectional bus. That means this can be input signals or the output signals for the processor. Coming to the second one, it is address or status bus, and third one is a control and status signal. Fourth one is interrupts and externally initiated signal. Last one is a clock, power, ground signals. In the last class we have discussed these 2 things. First one is address or data bus, and the second one is we have discussed the address or status bus. Address and status bus, which are nothing but from AD0 to AD0 to AD15. That means here the pin number 2 to pin number 16 and the pin number 39 combinedly named as address or data bus. Again, this is also coming to the second category, that is address or status bus from the pin number 35 to 38. That means these are 4 pins and comes under these are address or status bus, and these 16 pins from AD1 to AD15 we can call these are address or data bus. Totally 20 pins are completed, and remaining 12 pins we are going to discuss in this class. And coming to the third category of these common function signals is named as control and status signals. Control and status signals. Yes, this is the third category in the common function signals, which is nothing but control and status signals. And here we are going to discuss the 3 signals, that is read, that is a active low read signal, bus high enable signal, this is also active input signal, and next one is a status signal, that is S7, which doesn't have any significance in the processor. Coming to the first pin, it is active low signal, that is a read function which is used to indicate the read operation from the memory or some external I/O devices. So that here during the states clock cycles T2, T3 and TW, that is nothing but T wait, and it is going to indicate the read operation from the memory or I/O devices. And during the clock cycle T1, it will give the high impedance because it is going to change its states from the state from the one state to another state, so that it gives the read operation. This pin, that pin number 32, it is a active low input signal which is used to indicate the read operation in the clock cycle T2, T3 and TW. Coming to the next one is BHE, that is nothing but bus high enable, which is used to indicate the data transfer on the higher order data bus. That higher order data bus is nothing but D8 to D15. We know that 8086 microprocessor is a 16-bit processor, so that it is having the 16-bit processor D0 to D7. D0 to D7 is named as lower order data bus, whereas higher order data bus is nothing but D8 to D15, and D0 to D16 total it is having the 16 lines, so that the 8086 microprocessor is a 16-bit data bus it is having. And coming to the whenever this is active low, whenever it is active low signal, it is an input signal pin number 34. Whenever it is a logic 0, it transfer the data over the higher order data bus whenever this is having the active high signal, that is logic 1, and we are not using this particular status signal, that is ES7. Coming to the fourth category of the common function signal, we have the five types of signals in the common function signal. First one is address or data bus. These are the bidirectional signals which can act as input and output of the processor, and which can carry the address information as well as data information. Coming to the second one is a address or status bus. That means what? The same bus can carry the information of address, and the same bus will carry the information of status. And whereas status bus, that is having the S2 to S6, and S2 S3 defines the which resistor has been using by the processor, like a code segment register, extra segment register, data segment register, like that. Which segment register has been using by the processor is defined by that S2 and S3. And the third one is nothing but it is a control and status signal, in which we have studied the 3 pins. First one is read signal, that is a pin number 32, which is a active low input signal. Whenever it takes the signal, that is logic 0, it indicates the read operation from the IO devices or the memory. Coming to the BHE, that is a bus high enable signal. It is also active low input signal, which is used to transfer the data over higher order data bus. And S3, S7 is not having any significance, so that we have to go with the fourth classification, that is interrupts and external initiated signals. Interrupts and external initiated signals. In 8086 microprocessor, we are having the two interrupts. First one is named as non-maskable interrupt. For example, this is a input signal. Whenever the processor get this signal, the signal by making use of this pin, the complete processor is going to stop the processing, and it serves this interrupt signal first. After that, again it resumes to the previous function, and this is non-maskable interrupt, and which is pin number 17. Coming to the next one is interrupt. It is a pin number 18. It is a maskable interrupt. That means what? It can be disabled or it can be enabled based on the two types of instruction. This interrupt signal may be enabled or disabled. This signal will be enabled by the set interrupt flag instruction, and whereas the same instruction is disabled by the clear interrupt flag instruction, so that it is a maskable interrupt. That means what? The processor can accept or may not accept this interrupt signal. So that whereas NMI, that is non-maskable interrupt signal, that has to be accepted by the processor, then first it has to serve that interrupt signal, and after that it has to resume to previous functionality. Coming to the next pin, that is a read set. It is a pin number 21. It is an input signal which terminates all the operations of microprocessor. It is an active high signal. Whenever this pin takes the logic 1, then that it terminates all the operations of microprocessor, so that all the registers will take the data, that is all zeros, and all will be initiated to 0. And coming to the next one is ready. That means it indicates the processor. Whether that memory or the external input output devices are ready for the data transfer. This is also active high signal. Coming to the next one is about test. This is active low signal, which is used to synchronize. Whenever this test signal, it takes the logic 0, it synchronizes the processor to the coprocessor or processor to the external hardware. And whenever this test signal takes the input, that is logic 1, then it is not going to synchronize the processor with the external devices or other hardware or other coprocessor like 8087 coprocessor. Coming to the next pin, that is minimum or maximum, and this already we have discussed and this is also input signal for the microprocessor, that is 8086 microprocessor. Whenever this pin takes the input is logic 1, whenever this pin provides the logic 1, so that the processor will enter into the minimum mode of operation. Whenever this signal takes the logic 0 operation, logic 0 as input, then the same processor will enter into the maximum mode of operation. We know the maximum mode and the minimum mode of operation from the processor. When the single processor is enough to complete a required function, then that is named as a minimum mode of operation. When the processor is associated with some other coprocessor, then that is named as maximum mode of operation. And we left with only last classification in common mode signals and common function signals. The common, as we discussed earlier, common function signals are 5 types. First one is address or data bus, second one is address or status bus, and the next one is a control and status signal, and next one is interrupts and externally initiated signal, and last one is about power supply and clock signal. And the ground, all the negatives will be grounded, so that we have to ground these pins, that pin number 1 and pin number 20 has to be grounded. And coming to the clock will be, we are now 8086 microprocessors are available in 3 versions of clocks, that is 5 megahertz, 8 megahertz and 10 megahertz. Based on the clock frequency, that we are going to have the various versions of microprocessors. And coming to the next one is a VCC. It is a applied DC voltage for the microprocessor. It is nothing but it is a biasing voltage of a microprocessor, which is exactly about 5 volts plus 5 volts, and all the negatives will be grounded for the pin number 1 and pin number 2. And with this, all the signals in common function signals, that is out of 40 pins, 32 pins we have discussed as a common function signal, and remaining 8 pins serves the different functions in the minimum mode function and the maximum mode of operation, and that will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.